You have these kids and you kind of put acting on hold for a little bit, or are you still acting?
I'm still acting.
Okay.
Acting and producing.
Yeah. But I mean when they're little.
Oh, when they were little, some people have the great gift of prioritizing, being able to focus.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of an actor. I'm a kind of actor that it's like, okay, this is what you have to do. You're going to stand here. Let me hear your words. Let me hear you going to say, okay, let's do it. Let's shoot it. So I found it very difficult to be on a set with the nanny or my mother calling and saying, okay, what time are you going to finish? When are you going to get here?
Yeah.
When are you going to this? When are you going to that?
Yeah.
Or a kid crying in a trailer.
So
I put it on hold.
You put it on hold. And then so you're at... Oh, no, it's all right. So tell me how it was that you became... Were you in the PTA?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that.
Yeah, so I was living in Malibu with my husband and the 3 kids on the beach. And I just felt very strong about what was happening at the school. Or I should say what wasn't happening at the school. Michael and I always thought that we would put our kids into public school and, invest our money in real estate, not in education. But then I started to feel that there were so many flaws. So it was like, how can I be involved? And I went to one PTA meeting and the next and the next. And then I ended up being PTA president for 3 years in a row.
Wow.
I even got the coveted Golden Oak Award.
Really?
Yes.
I'm really sure you did.
Really good, dedicated volunteer.
Yeah.
So I had to. There was a woman that was ill, and PTA decided
another mom,
and the PTA decided to make a hospitality visit to her in the hospital.
Hospitality, that's the committee.
Hospitality, yes, that's the committee.
Yeah.
And so I went and made that. I had met her because we'd had an event, and she came to participate and other things. But I said, oh, okay, I'll go visit her. I wasn't sure what her last name was, and I went to the hospital to see her. And when I got to the hospital, there was a priest there and 5 little heads sitting around her bed. And the priest laughed, and I said, well, what did they say? Did you have a stroke? Did you have a heart attack? And she said, no, I have cancer. And I said, oh, well, you can beat this. And I said, well, how long, what do you have to do? Like chemo or whatever? And she said, well, no, I have 4 days. I said, 4 days? She said, yeah. I said, well, that can't be true. And she said, no, that's what they said. So in my mind, I thought, 4 days, this lady is going to pass away. So I made a promise to myself that I was going to visit her in the hospital for 4 days, which I did. I was there with her, sat by her bed, talked to her, talked about my family, her children, my children. And at the end of the 4th day, she said, I want to ask you something. And I said, okay. She said, will you take my children? I said, sure. Where do you want me to take them? She said, no, will you take my children?
Wow.
And she was holding my hands so tight and looking in my eyes. And I looked back at her and I said, yes.
Okay. I'm putting you on pause right there. You have 3 kids.
Yes.
Of your own.
Yes.
You have met this woman, but you don't know her. You were visiting her because you are head of the PTA as part of the hospitality committee, which goes and and brings cheer to people when they're sick at a school. That's what the hospitality committee does.
Correct.
And so you've arrived at this hospital. This woman has her 5 children. I'm there with her. She has 4 days to live, and she asks you this tremendous thing to take her children because she senses something in you. Are you the only one that's shown up during this time? Does she have other people there?
She had a sister that showed up, that came with her family to the hospital briefly. And they're not close? She and her sister weren't close? They were not close enough.
Okay.
And I suggested other people. I said, well, what about your sister? What about this? She has 6 siblings. So 5 living in England and then 1 here.
Right.
And I said, well, what about this person? What about that person?
And this is all at the bedside.
This is all at the bedside.
Yeah.
What about your husband? Why don't they go to him? Or what about, this friend?
And what
or
about
that
the
friend?
husband? What about the husband?
Well, my
their father.
The father of my 5 acquired children. He what we found out later was that there was some sort of restraining order that he shouldn't have been involved with the children to begin with, but he did not want to step up when he was with her. They were never married, had 5 children together. And what my husband and I have decided to do is to just graciously thank him.
Mm-hmm.
And what I explain to my children is, it's not about who doesn't want you, who doesn't care to be in your life. It's what a gift you are in our lives.
Right.
What you mean to us.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to frame it
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes.